Welcome to the Judgment Free Zone. You've downloaded the Alcohol Free Marriage Podcast, episode 54 for June 5th, 2023.
Now adjust the volume control so that the sound can be heard in all parts of the room.
Recorded live from the cornfields of Central Illinois, you're listening to the Alcohol Free Marriage Podcast with Matt and Amy. Come and learn and share a journey with two former craft beer enthusiasts who went from daily drinkers to teetotalers and basically never lost their love for their life together.
Hey, a freak show!
Well, hello there, children. Welcome back to your weekly freak show that is the Alcohol Free Marriage Podcast and more. I'm Matt, along with the always lovely and starting our own little book club over here, Coach Amy. How are you, my love?
You still have the old...
Somebody hasn't sent me.
No.
Yes,
No. I have sent you the corrected.
Oh, it must be in my junk mail. Well, how are you, childrens? How are you, Coach Amy?
Well, as you could see by the opener, if you are actually on YouTube.
On the YouTubes.
There was a huge yawn at the very beginning.
Yeah, we're keeping her awake at 1 o'clock.
We had
lunch.
We went and had lunch, and
as we sit there and talk about
kind of carbolicious.
We're talking about a healthy lifestyle and
as
eating
we
healthy,
eat bread,
eating all this bread and pasta and pop and.
I didn't have pop.
No, I guarantee there's a lot of sugar in that tea you had though.
Probably. And now I'm like,
she's like, oh, we need to take a nap.
But I'm going to be starting a 21-day challenge.
Yeah, in our house, when she starts a new book, it's like, okay, kids, get ready to hear everything every day about
Built
this.
to Move. I'm going to, we'll put in the show notes.
You'll do a book report?
The actual interview on the Drew Pruitt podcast where he interviews the authors of this. They were, they owned a CrossFit gym. They're actually they're physical trainers. What is that called? Like a
physical trainers.
With their sports people.
Luckily, you haven't turned into the sports nutrition podcast because we are failing both those.
I am not a sports person.
Those round bouncy things.
But their whole thing is to make mobility
cool again.
Well, okay, but honestly, it's all about that quality of life and being able to maintain your flexibility, your ability to move. That is going to give you that longevity in life, because this is really kind of their words, is who wants to live really a long time if the last 10, 15 years you can't move and you're having to be taken care of by someone like your family members or in a nursing home or something like that. I don't.
No.
And I think most people, and what they were saying, most people are like, oh, I don't want to get old, because they associate getting old with
debilitation.
Yes. And
it doesn't have to be that way.
It doesn't have to be that way. And I don't want it to be that way.
And it won't be that way for me because you're reading all the books.
Yes. So there's a 21-day challenge. Going to be starting that tomorrow.
There you go.
And it has,
Built to Move if you want to do it along with Coach Amy.
They call them the vital signs. Yeah, they have a free, it's called the 10 vital signs. And then the first one is the sit and rise test, where you are crisscross applesauce and have to get yourself up without using your hands.
And knees, we learned.
Apparently knees. I can get myself up pretty quickly, but...
I have to do it again. I don't remember if I used my knees or not, so we'll see.
And then sitting down. I can do the sitting down. It is not graceful, but the whole thing is...
Gravity assist.
Well, it's all about working towards it. Getting better. Always trying to improve on that. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next 21 days.
There you go. In 3 weeks, tune in to Amy's book report.
Well, we are going to video me on day 1 doing the...
And then day 21 and see if you've improved with your...
See if I can improve, because I don't know. I haven't even started the book. I have no clue what the challenge is. I just was intrigued. And I'm like, I'm signing up. That's what I do.
So it may be 22 or 23 days. You never know. Just stay tuned.
You know what? Fine. It's all good.
Fine.
So
all right, well, there's a book club.
I do not have show notes because
that keeps you on track. Well, kids, hey, don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Put a comment down below. This is how I run over Amy so she can't get a word in edgewise if I talk real fast. You can always go to joyontheirside.com and get our 7 tips that helped us get cleaned up from that old booze. It's our alcohol-free edition, the 5 o'clock somewhere alcohol-free edition. Because it's always 5 o'clock somewhere. That doesn't mean you have to be drunk out your gird to enjoy your 5 o'clock. And, of course, if you always want to sign up for a Coach Amy call, talk to her, Amy.
Free discovery call.
Free discovery call. Join their site.com. Or on YouTube.
Wow, you are funny.
You know, I get it. It's my commercial. It's my advertising voice.
Yeah. What is advertising? What is radio sales?
What is radio? Our daughter. We said we were in radio sales. What's that?
What's that?
What,
Advertising? What's an advertisement?
Like when she said, "What's that?" I'm like, "You mean radio or advertising?"
You know
Yes.
those influencers that you watch for forever? They used to have these really quick segments that we sold in 15, 30, and 60. And usually we try to get to the point pretty quickly instead of demonstrating all the fabulous.
Now advertising is disguised as, "I love this product I just got sent for free."
Yeah.
I love a lot.
Like hop water.
Sure, let's go into that. All right, let's do a drink of the week. There you
Drink of
go.
the week. Okay.
It's not time, but let's do it anyway.
Oh, okay.
It's a good segue.
I'm not even looking at the notes.
Look,
and
she's
I'm
even
still-
better without notes. Okay.
So my drink of the week
Well,
is
so first, we've talked about hop water before.
Yes.
We just found this flavor.
Yes.
This is?
Peach flavored hop water, sparkling hop water, crafted with adaptogens and nootropics.
There you go. But
And-
the peach, it seemed weird when I saw it, but the peach pairs so well with the
my goodness.
hoppiness of the hop water. It is fantastic. It's my favorite.
It's sweet. It's juicy. It's hoppy.
I mean, I enjoy hop water anyway, but that one is,
Yeah, it is really. And
If you can
they
find
call
that,
it. They've
or-
got. I don't know if this is what it says for other things, but it says Summer State. I don't know.
I don't know if their cans are all the same, but no,
But it
that
has
is
0 calories.
that would win, and that would win a place in the take with us to the lake. For sure.
No, it's proudly hopped at Summer State.
Summer, is that a town? Summer State?
We tap the full power of hops.
Welcome to book club.
Their crisp, bold taste and calming benefits. I cannot read this.
Let's stop reading the label. It's not working
Anyways,
out for you.
no, but this was brought up because I posted this on my Instagram page and Facebook page on how I really like this. And so then it came up. The question was, well, what are hops?
Or is
You
it
know,
gluten-free?
Are they gluten-free? Are hops wheat? And no, they are not. They are actually a flour.
Yes. Hops don't cause the gluten. It's the wheat. That causes
Yes.
the gluten.
And so, but I didn't ever really like hops, like IPAs that you would drink.
Well, hop water's not super hoppy, but with the peach, it's a great. Oh,
This is a 5
There you
out
go.
of 5.
that is if you want to open it and drink it. This is the more creative drink.
Oh, this is
So
I
this-
haven't even tasted this yet.
Here, you can taste it while I talk about it. We did the Corona Zero last time or 2 times ago. Anyway, excuse me, which is still a solid beer. But the Corona Zero, I'm sure I saw on TikTok or something. You pour some out or you drink some. You put in a shot of Ritual tequila, a shot of grenadine, and a shot of orange juice. And then you can do something fancy on the bottle lid.
I think you need to do something with the lid, with the spicy
Maybe
stuff. I think you need to do that because I think you're missing a vital part of the flavor thing.
Flavor.
And you do not have the lime.
I don't have the lime.
You don't have the fresh
Oh,
lime
crap, I
in it
forgot about the
either.
lime too, yeah.
So I feel like you have earned a fail on this.
I don't think you earn a fail. You just get it for free.
Okay, you get a D,
There you go. D for dang good try.
but I think
It's a fun color when you're done.
I would do with that. I think you should serve that in like a margarita glass or something,
It could be on ice, probably.
and then put over ice. I definitely think this needs over ice. Put the lime around it, and maybe I would even say you would need like celery salt or something.
Oh, that might be good. Yeah, it needs a little bougied up,
It
but it's
needs,
still pretty good.
and then put the lime in there as well. And I think, but I mean, it tastes good.
You're definitely adding some sugar and calories when you add the grenadine and the orange juice.
Oh yeah, but I think.
But I think you're right. I
again,
think out of the bottle, they did it with they dipped the nozzle in like
it's like a sriracha type thing.
some kind of like hot sauce, and then rolled it in some kind of like peppery, maybe celery salt type. Anyway, then they take the cap off and they put the drink in, and a lime helps too. But
I think that
it's not horrible. It's not. I mean, it's fine. I don't know if it's one. It's not.
I think over ice and exactly how I said to serve it.
So there you go. Do it Amy's way, kids.
So what we'll do is we will make another one and we'll do it over ice and do the whole
And
thing.
we'll report back sometime.
Yeah, and I'll put it in because I think it does taste. It kind of has that. Definitely has a Kool-Aid-y taste to it.
Looks like Kool-Aid. But the ritual gives it a little bit of that spicy kick, which I struggle.
I mean, it tastes good.
But I think.
But I think you need the
Well-
additional, and I don't think it's cold enough. I think it needs to be.
Well, it's been sitting out now for a half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah, it needs some ice.
Plus, when you do all that, you kind of ruin the.
And I think you definitely, I really feel like you need to have that spice in there to balance out
Okay,
the
I get it. I
sweetness.
get a D.
The sweetness.
D's
honey.
get diplomas.
Honey, you're okay.
Or D's get degrees.
It's okay. I see you and I love you. And I love your efforts, okay? It's okay.
Good effort. Too bad it was bad.
But if you want a really good drink, you need to get the hop water, the peach hop water.
But Amy, speaking of D's get degrees or diplomas or whatever, not that our children might get D's, but I did.
I would say,
But graduation.
okay.
We had the graduation
Oh, my
weekend and party.
goodness.
The most ironic, funny, interesting thing about our party, I bought beer and wine. So I want to be equal opportunity. We talked about this on the last show. So I want to be equal opportunity. I bought a case of beer, and I finished the night with 22 beers still in the cooler. We only had two beers drank.
I find that interesting too. I think that people know we don't drink, and I think we make people uncomfortable with our
You
non-drinking.
think?
No, I don't.
I don't know.
We had it because there were several glasses of wine drank.
That's true. The wine was.
The wine was more popular, I think.
Well, I did just buy Miller Lite. Maybe there's nobody wanted to drink Miller Lite. I don't know.
I
I
don't
wasn't
know.
gonna buy expensive beer and fancy.
No.
I'm not keeping it. I'm gonna give away whatever's left over.
yeah,
I wasn't
we're
buy-
gonna.
The wine just got chucked.
Yeah, we chucked the
I wasn't gonna
wine.
Deal with the wine.
But no, we did have people. We did have people. But again, Matt, this is a reflecting. We're looking in the mirror. Who were the drinkers?
We were.
We were the drinkers. So we
kinda like at a wedding where the
we're
bride and
kinda
groom
the
kinda-
pushers. I mean, let's face it.
That's true.
People would come over. Hey, you want a drink? You want this? Okay. Hey, I'll make you this.
We went through more NA beer. We went through 8 or 9 NA beers.
We did.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
Almost went through the whole 12 pack of
Why
NA
did-
beer, but
Was that because of you?
well, that's what I was. I didn't drink all of that, but I think everybody was just like, oh, and like it was just a chance to try it.
Intrigued.
Like, oh, I'll
yeah,
try
like
that.
even our nephew, he tried one of the Corona,
Oh yeah.
the Coronas. He was like, "Can I have one?" Is it, I don't even remember what the question was. I go, like, is it going to make me drunk? And I'm like, no more than a banana.
Yeah. Yeah. You couldn't possibly drink enough.
I mean, to feel it, you'd have to drink like 10.
At least probably. I mean, you couldn't drink it. Your body's gonna process it so much faster, and you could probably ingest
Yeah.
it.
So
It's not impossible, but there's a lot easier. If you really do want to do that, just drink a beer. Save yourself the bloat.
But yeah, I just found
But yeah,
that
I think I had a lot of
interesting.
people like,
I think
"Oh,
a lot of
what's that taste
people,
like?"
yeah, are interested in what the taste is. The beer for me, I think beers have been done so well.
Oh yeah. Yep. Need to order some more Go Brewing beer too. For
I
the
know
trip.
we got to get that. And if you are interested,
Go to our go to the show notes, or just go to the show notes.
go to the show notes, and we have our link, and you get $5 off your first order.
There you go.
And I have converted some people in my
Okay.
small group with this, with the
link that-
alcohol free spirit group. Like, whoa, this is good. And comparing and saying that I think is it the Corona like one.
Oh, yeah,
I
I
can't
forget
remember
what
the
it's
name
called,
of it.
but yeah.
But they, I think Mexico.
It's a weird name, but yeah.
That it was better than the
Coronas.
Corona. They were. She was like, no, this is so much better.
They don't half-ass anything there.
No,
they
so
are whole ass all the way.
And they were just sponsors of was it the Chicago Marathon?
Chicago Half
Or
Marathon.
Half Marathon. Yeah, which is so cool.
Yes, but the graduation, the stress of doing the party and having the graduation. I guess there was moments maybe I thought, oh, a drink could just. But I'm like,
There were a couple. There were
Yeah.
a couple where I was like, if this would be the time. And it was more like this would be the time if I was going to have a drink that I would have a drink.
but if you play it forward, you're
But
like, it's not. Is this gonna help anything? No, it's just gonna make
No.
me. It's not gonna. It's gonna make
No.
problems. It's gonna create more problems than it's fixing.
And honestly, I think I've said it here before, but I have such a strong visual now of what I truly believe alcohol is.
Right.
I mean, I look at it and I envision a red Solo cup with day-old stale beer from a college party with floating cigarettes in it. butts.
Well, we did a Miller Lite, so it's pretty close.
And all I do is I sit there and look at it and go, oh my gosh, that's cancer juice. And I'm like, not interested.
No, but play it forward, kids. That's a big thing.
I would have to say was probably one of the
Good time. Like, well, maybe I will as I crack
keys.
it.
I'm like, no, I know I'll wake up. And here's the other thing. I love sleep. I want my sleep.
I know.
Last night, oh my gosh, I had the best night's sleep because of, again, word of the peach hop water. But no, I did my, I did my breath.
Elixir.
I did my breath work. First,
You have like we joked the other day. He goes, well, I can do this in the morning.
in
I'm
the
like,
show
you realize,
notes. In the show notes, you need to put that link to that
I'm like,
one.
Your
guy.
morning routine is going to take so long that it'll be time for you to start your evening routine by the time you finish it. It's like, oh, it's 6 o'clock. Time to start getting ready for bed.
No, and I didn't. I started this at 8 o'clock.
I know.
I only did the 11-minute breath work routine.
So here's a question I just had. Do
Then,
you do all of this because it helps you with sobriety and not drinking, or does it help you deal with me as your husband or your family, or just make you feel better in general?
It makes me feel, when I do the breath work and I get done, and especially last night, then
If you say that word one more time, I'm going to get them to sponsor us. I can't afford this free advertising.
anyways, bleep. I did the breath. I love doing the breath work. It does calm me down. It puts me into a real, if you're going to have like a zen, like that zen moment.
Right.
It really does make me feel so calm overall. And I'm like, I usually don't do breath work at night. I usually do it in the morning because when I wake up and I'm going and I can feel myself kind of getting into that, okay, you're starting to speed up. And I do it in the morning usually because it's like, oh, okay, let's just calm yourself down. Then you can focus better and you can do all that. But last night I thought I didn't do it yesterday. And I'm like, you know what? I don't like to miss it. And I can tell when I miss it, almost like exercise. If you go more than 2 days, it's like, I got to exercise on that third day.
Right.
I'm kind of looking at breath work like that. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to do it. Laid down, then had a little drink. And I was like, I'm going to go take a shower. Took my hot shower, finished off with about 30 seconds to a minute of the cold shower. And I got into bed and I did not wake up once.
Interesting.
Amazing.
That is
And
a
I
little bit of a
know
miracle
I
for you.
didn't, and I know I didn't wake up because typically when I wake up in the middle of the night, if I don't have my phone put to the
Little red filter screen thing you do.
the red
yeah.
filter,
Yeah.
there was none. And I also, if I wake up in the middle of the night, I will put on a boring YouTube video that I can, usually medical, usually just,
Because they'll talk about, then we're going to do it.
yes. And so then they'll put me to sleep, but I didn't do any of that. I mean, I woke up, it was great. Tonight I'm going to try just doing the breath work with nothing else, just the breath work, no shower, anything like that, and see what happens and see if it's the breath work or if it was the combination.
Well, maybe I should try the breath work because and we're learning a lot with our marriage coaching, a lot more.
Yeah.
And we're learning more about working with each other, but yet there's, and
adult children.
yes, and talking to them through things that we did when they were little that made them the way they are, because we worked through things that happened to us when we were little that made us the way we are.
And again,
and generational things.
And again, it's not putting any blame or onus on our parents because you know what? We're all, honestly, there is no manual
Right.
for any of this. So it's just trying to
It's seeking to
navigate,
understand, not
yes.
place blame.
And really, again, with that, what is it, the love styles that we've
Yeah.
talked about. So really honing in on that, we want to be secure connectors and, I want to improve our relationships with our kids. I want to have good communication with them. And so, I would ask, I sent Luke the quiz for the love styles quiz. And I want to have him do that.
Well, he's in a relationship, so that would help them.
I think also it's just good in general with other relationships. I want to have Maggie do it as well. I think, again, like you said, seeking to understand and really looking and doing that timeline I think we've talked about before. Oh, my gosh. To see the highs and lows and those marker moments of your life,
Right.
it really does play out. Like why I decided to use alcohol as
Right.
something that would be my coping.
Well, and we had our
mechanism.
little moment, last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever. And it got a little heated amongst all four of us. But I think not having the alcohol, right? That would have just poured
would have
gasoline
made it-
the whole thing would have been train wreck. But some of the things we're learning, and then we'll teach you all, is like after the fact, what'd you say when pops?
Yeah, popped.
I abused it.
Or the pleaser popped.
Well, when you're a pleaser and you can't figure out how to please, then your brain just gets lost and you throw frozen veggie burgers around, apparently. but the thing is, what we're learning from love styles and key messages that you've heard as a child growing up, after it didn't necessarily as much help in the moment because we're kind of new at this, but afterwards, I think it helped dissect it all and break it down.
Well,
and
we can't. I will have to say, because I wasn't facing you. I had no idea that was coming, and I was breathing. I was doing deep breath work. I really was. I'm like,
Pro tip, I
breathe
share
in
too.
into myself, and I'm like, okay. And always, I think this goes any type of disagreement or discussion that starts to get heated or goes down that path is always looking at that other person and extending grace and compassion to them. That is the key to so much, is looking at them and valuing them as a human being. And far too often what we do as human beings is we are actually nicer to the people we meet that we don't even know. Like,
Right.
Oh, how's that person doing? And reaching out. And if you see somebody who's not having a good day, like when you're at I don't know, Walmart or whatever, and just, trying to engage with them and make them feel better. So often we do that so much easier and better than just doing that to the people that we have connection with, real connections with, and extending them that love and that grace and that compassion.
But it has to kind of get messy to get to be a secure connector, because you have to get past habits that you were used to, like the pleaser and the avoiders of it. You don't ever get terribly deep. It's sort of like whatever it takes to push that problem to the side. As our favorite line from The Rock in Central Intelligence, I just ball up and push it way down deep.
Push it down, push it down.
And, and eventually if you don't deal with those, you have problems. So, it's not, arguing's not always bad, but there's constructive and non-constructive ways to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think, again,
it's the aftermath of how you handle it and how you learn from each other.
And always going to that other person and having that apology and asking, them to forgive you. I mean, that to me is the big thing. It's like, you know what, you can do, having a disagreement. I mean, the one thing that I love about being almost 55 is that I have a lifetime of knowledge now with relationships and relationships that didn't work. And it's like, I know in the moment people will say, oh, well, it doesn't matter. Well, I guess that's the way it will be. Well, making that statement and deciding you don't want to have a relationship with somebody, I'm totally fine with that. Within, people you have to have boundaries.
Right.
There are destructive relationships, but sometimes putting that up and it's not productive. Right. And I can look back and go, you know what? I don't have relationships with certain people, and I do have regrets about that. I can't change it. Right. So I don't dwell on that anymore, but it can play out to not to your advantage, I guess.
Right. And some of it comes down to decision fatigue, Amy.
Oh, decision-making fatigue. Well, this has been something that has come up, a lot in, it always comes up when you're wanting to make habit change. And far too often people will be like, oh, because I have clients, all right, I get up in the morning and I'm like, I'm not going to drink. I've got this hangover from the night before and I'm not going to do it. And then all of a sudden 5 o'clock rolls around and here I am. I'm pouring myself a drink and everything. And
Why am I doing that?
why am I doing that? What I didn't want to do that.
Right.
That is huge.
Why does 8 o'clock me not agree with 5 o'clock me?
Exactly. And first off, it's partially it's withdrawal.
Yeah. Part of it's habit, part of it's withdrawal.
Part of it's habit, part of it's withdrawal. And one of the things to really help with that decision-making fatigue, because decision-making fatigue happens because all day you are making thousands and thousands of decisions.
Right.
Decisions from, getting on your phone. Every time you do a swipe, that's a decision.
Yep.
Am I going to stay and listen? And you keep going through this and you're making all these decisions. And if you don't make that firm decision in the morning, like I'm not going to have a drink or I'm not going to have sweets or whatever I'm going to do, it is so easy to have the effort moment.
Right.
It really is true.
But what you're saying is actively say, I'm not drinking today.
Yep. Or
I've already made that decision.
I'm not going to have those sweets today.
So if 5 o'clock runs around, I'm not making a
I
decision.
did not do that this morning. I.e., how we ended up having the lunch that we had. Again, am I going to sit there and beat myself up about it? Absolutely no. Not. I'm going to say, okay, you know what?
Damn, you did it.
This is Sunday.
It's your fun day. You don't have to run day. That's so that's what the Bengals told me.
The Bengals did.
Yes.
But it's like, okay, but tomorrow morning, I know when I get up, I'm going to have my little list. What am I going to do? First thing, I'm going to tell myself I'm going to have a great day. I'm going to have my positive thought and voice it out loud. And then I'm also going to tell myself tomorrow that I am not going to have sweet or processed or sugary processed or processed foods tomorrow.
Well, because I think here's the other problem too. You have the decision fatigue. So you get to that point in the day, you're like, screw it, I'm going to do it anyway. Then whether that's sugar or alcohol, those are two of your big ones, right?
Yeah.
Well, then I do it. Well, those mute that decision fatigue even more. It's like, well, now I've already done it. I'll just have more of this or more alcohol. I'm like, whatever. I've already broke my rules. So I might as well just go on down that track.
But the big thing is when you make it in the morning and you make that decision, it's like you've made a final decision.
Right.
And that's really what helped me when I quit drinking. It was like every morning I got up, I'm not going to drink today. When I started off, it was a 21-day break and then it was a 30-day break. It's like, I'm not drinking today.
Yep.
And when you make that decision in the morning, your brain doesn't have all the clutter, doesn't have all the decisions throughout the day. You've made that decision first.
Right.
So as you're working your way through the day, I would remind myself halfway through the day, nope, I'm not drinking today.
Yep.
That decision's been made. Like if I would have the thought of, 3:00 this afternoon on a Friday, wouldn't that be great?
Right.
No, you already made that decision.
Right.
That decision's been made. And I think that's also a very good, healthy, positive self-talk of saying, look, what do you actually want?
Well, what's the line? I never regretted deciding not to drink. The next morning, it's like, I never said that. I wish I hadn't drank. It's like that. People don't say that, right?
Yeah, and I think it also.
Sorry, I wish I had drank. Sorry. I think
no one ever says.
No.
Oh boy, I wish I really gone out. Yeah,
night.
I would have gone out.
I feel so good. I wish I gotten hammered. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's the big thing that I think most people don't realize. It's almost this ongoing conversation that you start with yourself first thing in the morning. You say, okay, I'm not.
And that's a routine, though.
It is a routine.
You set up that routine.
And
that takes time, right? It's like, I didn't work this day. Well, do it tomorrow.
And then the thing about it is we get to a certain point where we have to, like that 3:00, that 5:00 time comes, and you are uncomfortable, and you, in the beginning, you do have that craving, or you have that habit craving.
Right.
You're not, the alcohol craving is really kind of gone. It's just that ritual that you've created. You have to push through that discomfort. And I look at that and I talk to my clients and I say, look, you're going to have that discomfort and you have to just look at yourself and go, I'm going to do the opposite of what my brain is telling me. My brain is saying, I want that. It makes me feel good because discomfort goes back, to our primal
Right.
brain where it's like, oh, I have to, this is uncomfortable. That means danger.
Danger, right.
Danger.
Right.
I need to run away or I need to do this. No, do the opposite. You have to just do the opposite and go, you know what? This sucks. And I'm not going to do it. That's why we really love that play it forward tactic. And we also love that replace the ingredients, keep the ritual. And everybody's like, oh, but am I going to get addicted to NA drinks? They're not addictive.
No.
I mean, there's nothing in them. That's fun.
That's fun. Light bulb blinking. Right? No, yeah.
So for me, like that 5
But some people,
o'clock-
that now, caveat being, some people, it's a trigger. Like, it makes
Exactly.
me want an actual beer, which I get that. Some people can't. And,
yeah, some people, I mean,
but I think most people find what is their thing. And
and I'm not saying do an NA, like an NA beer or an NA
No.
wine. I mean,
hop water. Or,
this is a flavored water.
right.
And I did most of the time the NA drinks I was drinking was a flavored shrub, which is an alcohol. It's a apple cider vinegar
Right.
flavor. And I would take bubbly water and smash up some fruit and make myself just a fun bubbly drink.
And frankly, I think this time of year is actually, I mean, some people say, well, it's the summertime. It's harder to quit because, patio parties and boating and blah. Yes, but I would say what makes it a little easier sometimes is it's nice outside. I can go outside and do other stuff. When you quit in January like I did, cool. Go to bed early, I guess, because it's dark early. But like, there's your number of activities that you can do to kind of fill your time.
Well, the other thing that you can do too when you're going to these parties is you can have your keeper cup and no one needs to know, oh, hey, I brought my own drink.
Right.
What are you drinking? Oh, I've made myself up, whatever. You know what? Honestly, you can tell people whatever you want. I've got an NA drink or I'm this, it all kind of integrates together.
Well, and like you say here in your notes, Amy, establishing those routines, and I think that's what you have, right? You have your morning breathing and all. You have a very elaborate routine, but changing that routine, your routine is, well, I drink at 5 o'clock. Okay, well, what's your new routine? Well, 5 o'clock, I'm going to go for a walk, or
Yeah,
I do something, and then you don't have to think about, well, you've already decided I'm not going to drink, and then at 5 o'clock, I already decided my routine is after work, I go. It's an easy one. I go for a walk, or I work in my wood shop, or whatever your thing is, right? Those decisions are made and a new routine. So when you hit that clock, it's like, oh, well, now it's time for me to go do this.
And I would say having someone to help you with that is great. Having some support. You were very supportive of that.
Well, even if your spouse is still drinking, you can go on a walk together. I mean, a lot of people in our neighborhood walk with drinks. They can still take their drink if they want, but they can go on the walk with you and still.
Yeah.
be
I mean, I
supportive
feel
in
like
that
there
way.
was a part of it. I was like pulling you along. Like, okay, but you would drink NA beers too. You were,
But moderation, you want to talk about decision
you were
fatigue.
doing, yeah. Oh, and that's the
even
thing when you're talking about moderation and making a firm decision. That is really hard because the only drink you have control of is the first drink.
Yep.
That's
True
the
story.
only drink. Because once you have that first drink, the brain chemistry, the decision-making abilities, it's
Right.
all been hampered with. And so
Tampered
that's hampered.
You said tampered with, or hampered.
I don't know.
I do. It's hampered. It's been hampered.
I thought I said hampered.
You said hampered with. That'd be tampered with. Not. Anyway, read more. Speaking of book reports, okay. We've been using too much Chat GPT, I guess. Anyway, that decision's been hampered.
But you have that decision, that first decision. And then after that,
You're not necessarily.
you're not really right there that you're going to say, oh, am I going to say no to the next one? It just depends.
I mean, when I've had my one, I've had to make those firm decisions too, going in. Like, I'm having the one, and that is all.
Yeah.
And that's harder to stick to than just not having one to begin with. But
yeah. I mean, it is that. So
plus, it makes you tired. But that's a whole nother.
it does make you tired, but hey, you I have to say I'm still in awe that you do that.
What?
That one drink. You've had it, what,
Isn't it
twice now.
Yeah.
I know, but it's just like.
I mean, I've tasted a few things here and there, but yeah.
Well, and I would, just a side note to all of this too, is that it's a choice. Yes. Remember that there's a part of this that is a choice, and it is the choice to fight against yourself. And that decision-making fatigue is very real, and it's very hard to be in an argument with yourself at the end of the day when you are exhausted from all the other decisions.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So if you make that firm decision in the morning, say, this is what I'm going to do, and I am going to fight against it.
Right.
I love we're in a group where they, both of us are, and they have the pillow pledge. I'm going to hit my pillow sober tonight.
Sober night, yeah.
And that actually is kind of fun because after you'll see this come in waves. You'll have people who are like, all right, let's get back on this. And they'll put the little post out there and everybody will put it in there. And the saying like, I will not drink with you today. Those types of fun things. If you can find somebody in these bigger groups, if you're in, or if you want to get into a smaller group, look for it. You'll surprise yourself. I think you can probably find it. And remember, you can always reach out to me or Matt, if you need a little just extra support, we're here for you.
Ooh, actually worked.
I wish you guys could have saw his eyes.
I clicked the button and I'm like,
I was like, I don't know what he's going to do. What is he going to do now?
Well, there you go, children. Well, thank you for making the decision to listen this far into the podcast. We appreciate it. You can always email Amy at Coach.
Nope, not there.
No, not there. No, Amy at joyontheirside.com. That's how you reach Coach Amy. There you go. That's where you get the coach in there. But we missed you last week. We will be here next week with a special interview. So wait for that one. It's a very international interview even.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Don't forget to rate, subscribe, rate highly, please. If it's a 1-star, save your time. No, that's okay.
Please go out and
comment,
give us
all that good
comment,
stuff. Yeah.
Share.
Tell a friend.
If you see that I post up our podcast, share it, please. Share it.
All of her, or follow Coach Amy at Joy on Their Side. She has all kinds of fun TikToks things. Not TikTok, I guess. Reels, whatever.
And that's actually Joy on the Other Side of Alcohol on my Instagram.
And speaking of things we need to link up to, so. There you go. All right, Coach Amy, we need to run, but
okay.
All right, kids. Well, we will talk to you next week. Wishing you peace and love in the cornfields. I am Matt, along with Coach Amy, and we are out.